Thank you. Good morning, Minister Kang. As we know, in 2022, China's economy has borne the hit of different factors to stabilize the overall economy. And this year, because of the turn of events as to the pandemic, it seems that our economy is looking up. What's your take about it? And since there are still some remaining uncertainties in China and abroad, what's your take about this year's economic landscape? Thank you for the questions. As to the macroeconomy, we are all very concerned. In 2022, as the reporter has mentioned, we attempted to maintain the overall stability of our economic situation. If we look at the overall macroeconomy, we could wrap it up as follows. Macroeconomy has been stabilized in general. We achieved that, but it's hard-won result. And that achievement demonstrates resilience of Chinese economy. It also paves the way for our economic performance this year. Usually we look at the employment, the CPI, and international revenue and expenditure, and the GDP growth rates when we look at the overall economy. And the total aggregate was 121 trillion. And per capita GDP was $12,700. As to the commodity price, it was a huge contrast to the international average because it was only 2% in China. And as to employment, by the end of last year, unemployment ratio was as low as 5.5%. As to international revenue and expenditure, it was kept steady as well. In particular, as to the forex of RMB, compared to the huge fluctuations of forex of other major currencies in the world, RMB seems to maintain very steady fluctuation. And our forex reserve was about 3 trillion. Those achievements are very hard won, because we all did our best last year against all the uncertainties. From the outside, there have been some geopolitical conflicts, dealing huge shocks to the international economy, Chinese economy included, added by the repeated occurrence of the epidemic. We had very hard times last year. Besides, natural disasters broke out. The extreme heat and drought and lack of water were daunting us. And those achievements are worth commendation. And we performed pretty well, even if on the international stage. We minimized our cost as to the containment of the pandemic. We have tried our best to maintain people's health and safety. 3% growth is higher than that of the US, which is 2.1%, and 1.8% in Germany. And CPI is performing well. With steady price, we could have well-controlled inflation performance as well. Those numbers manifest that China's economy is very resilient. With so many shocks and difficulties, we made it And we endured huge pressure to prove that our economy can respond to many risks and challenges. It was extraordinary last year, and we accumulated many macro-regulation experience.
And the results of those macro control measures will serve as a good condition for future modulations and macro control, and also give us more room for maneuvers in the future. So these are the 5 aspects of our national economy of last year. In 2023, what path will the Chinese economy take? According to the Central Economic Conference, the economic situation of China is now turning for the better, and our target for this year's economic growth is about 5%. We are fully confident that we will achieve that goal. And the big picture of this year's macroeconomic development will be satisfactory, and our confidence comes from 2 aspects. First, is based on the long-term judgment of our national economy. And second, this is made according to some of the latest statistics of the Q1 of this year. In the mid and long run, China is still a developing economy, and our per capita economic indicator still faces major gaps compared to developed countries. So we have big rooms for development as well as a vast market to be tapped in. We need to further improve our supply of laborers, and we also have favorable conditions for production, and our very good momentum for economic development has not changed. But we are facing challenges as we did before. A lot of experts from home and abroad are carefully studying the future development of the Chinese economy. According to our information, 5% is the general projection of China's economic growth this year. So about 80% of the agencies are making similar predictions and projections. So this is a very fair judgment and projection, and 5% will take the Chinese economy back to its normal track of development. We believe that expectations and confidence of the market will also be turning for the better this year. And on March the 1st, we issued some of the major indicators in manufacture. Our purchases indicator is 52.6, which creates a high in a very high level in quite a long time, which shows that the public are now restoring confidence of the economy. We also see some projections of international organizations, and they also have been making more optimistic projection of the numbers of the Chinese economy. Since February, a lot of global organizations are making better judgment and gearing up their numbers for the projection of world economy because of the restoration of the Chinese economy. so we now can see brighter prospects for the world economy as well, which is attributable to the recovery of the Chinese economy. And second, we also see some real numbers concerning such as railway transportation and power generation. We see better numbers in all of those aspects mentioned above. And third, we also have some follow-up indicators and see these indicators improving in Q1, including the industrial added value, commodity sales, and service industry index. The Bureau will be issuing the latest number on 15th of March, so please stay tuned with us. We believe that the national economy is now turning for the better, so we are fully confident of the 5% target. However, we cannot ignore some of the challenges and uncertainties ahead of us. And we are facing an even more complex international situation environment. And we also have some deeply embedded paradoxes and problems in the national economy and at domestic level. A lot of the businesses are facing difficulties. We are also experiencing pressure in employment and income distribution. There are also some deep-seated problems in our national economy. And coming up, we will be acting according to the instructions of the National Economic Conference as well as the government work report, and continue to promote high-quality development and form a new landscape for economic development. We believe that with the synergy and joint effort of the whole country, we are facing very bright prospects in terms of national economy, and our economy will surely be turning for the better. Next question.
谢谢。封面新闻记者提问，局长您好，我们知道高质量发展是全面建设社会主义现代化国家的主要任务。
is an important task for building China into a modern socialist country. So, what are our improvements in this regard, and what are our future plans?
好，谢谢你的提问。
Thank you.
高质量发展是我们全面建设
Economic high-quality development is the first priority of building China into a modern socialist country. Last year, in terms of promoting high-quality development, we made progress despite the difficulties. Our directions has not been changed, and our efforts are relentless and unswerving, so we made major breakthroughs, especially in innovation. We now have higher driving forces, including the investment of NRD. Last year, it exceeds 3 trillion RMB, accounting for 2.55% of the national GDP, which is close to OECD level, which reflects that China now has a more advanced level in terms of innovation index. We are one of the top countries, including in terms of innovation, and ranking has risen from 12 to 11 at the international level, and we produce major innovative results. Second, coordinated development. The structure of the national economy as the regional balance has been better managed. For example, in terms of industrial structure, the manufacturing industry last year takes up 27%, which is up by 0.2 percentage point compared to the previous year. In terms of the momentum of economic growth, last year, domestic demand contribute to 82% of the national economy, up by 4.8 percentage points compared to the previous year, which has become the major driving force for economic growth. We believe that urbanization has reached a 65% among other indicators. So the income gap between rural and urban residents has been further reduced, and the income growth for rural areas outpaced that of urban areas, and that of the western regions outpaced that of the eastern regions. Green development also see promising results, including energy consumption. Last year, we see a price hike in the international market. Coal as the major source, natural resources of energy in China. Our consumption is up by 4.3%, but the per capita consumption is down by 0.1 percentage points. We also see an improvement of air quality, water quality, as well as the soil quality. The PM 2.5 and its intensity in major cities is down by 3.3 percentage points. Our door of opening up has been wider, and we are welcoming more friends to join hands with us. We see some commerce and institutions and businesses that have been choosing China as their destination of investment. The BRI investment is up by 19.4% last year. We're still the biggest trader in the world. And this year, the General Customs has already issued the latest number. Before the announcement, there are projections that the numbers might not look very good, saying that we may see this kind of nosedive of China's foreign trade. However, the numbers turned out to be very good. Our foreign trade is only down by 0.8 percentage points, and the export is actually up by 0.9%, which it's a clear embodiment of China's opening up policy. Last but not least, in terms of social security, we also made major improvements. The labor force, total number of labor force in China is 700 million people. This is a massive market, but no unemployment risks, major unemployment risks were reported last year. And the income of the residents is basically in line with the growth of national economy, which is a clear embodiment that our policies concerning the well-being of the people are very effective. So high-quality development will be the priority for developing China into a modernist social country. And in the discussion with the Jiangsu delegation, the General Secretary also pointed out that this is a major driving force for economic development. We should continue to take this as our priority and major task, so that the benefits of economic development and opening up can be enjoyed by the wider public. We believe that these policies will be better implemented and the instructions will be better performed, especially in terms of the handling of the quality of development, as well as the speed.
As you may have noticed, the expressions in many central government documents have changed about improving the quality and efficiency to have reasonable growth. So quality has been given top priority as well as efficiency. As we are implementing the instructions of high-quality growth, I do believe that high-quality development will be realized as scheduled in China among the overall development of Chinese modernization. In that way, we can truly practice the high-quality and highly efficient development, thus supporting the recovery of our overall economy and modernization target of China. Thank you. Next question.
西区着黄色西装的女记者提问。
谢谢主持人，我是深圳卫视直新闻的
From
记者。
Shenzhen TV.
康局长您好，我们知道统计呢
Minister
作
Kang,
为经济社会
as
发
we
展
know,
的重要的
statistics
基础性
is
工
one
作，越来越
important
受到大家的
basic
关注。
task
所以我想请
for
问一下，对于统
economic
计
and social
改革的
development.
未来
So,
发展，您有
what's
什么样
your
的设
plan
想？
about
2023年还有哪
statistics
些重
reform
点
and
工作是
development
需
in the
要我
future,
们来
and
继续关注的
what
呢？
are
谢谢。
going to be the priorities of your work this year? Thank you for the questions, and thank you all the more for your attention paid to the work of statistics. As is known to all, statistics is the fundamental work for our economic and social development. Statistics must always serve the economic and social development. This year, we will see the beginning year of implementing the instructions from the 20th National Congress. In the future, we will continue to work around the overall requirements of economic and social development. So this year, our priorities of statistics work is to serve the Chinese modernization drive and to facilitate the reform of modernization. To that end, we must first of all change our mindset of statistics. In particular, we must learn from the overseas premium experience, as well as the cutting-edge philosophies of statistics. More importantly, we will try to organize the previous years of practices in China so that we can give out the Chinese voice of statistics. As to formulating the international statistics rules and standards, we must improve the influence and representation of China. Secondly, we will reform the statistics system. We will focus on the Chinese modernization, and we will scale up the scope of statistics work and enrich the contents of our statistics. In that way, we will formulate a brand new statistics system. So this year, the Chinese modernization supervision system for statistics will be put in place. We will try to calculate the carbon emissions as well as common prosperity. We will also work harder on the improvement of people's livelihood. Thirdly, we will try to change the production way of statistics. Especially, we must follow the trend of the big data development and the digital development, as well as informatization. We will better harness the power of the remote sensing technology, big data, blockchain technology, and others. Fourth, we will improve the statistics system. We will unify the system nationwide and strengthen the national leadership. We will improve the tiered system so that we could be cohesive in statistics work. Of course, there are a good many priorities. For one thing, we must adhere to the high quality of statistics, which is the lifeline. Only with high accuracy and completeness of the statistics can we timely reflect the economic and social conditions. So the quality of data must be improved. But we must be aware that in certain places there have been some fraudulent numbers and data which require the higher level of legal execution and penalties. We will crack down upon those illegal behaviors. There will be a dedicated campaign as to fraudulent data this year. We aim to ensure that all of those data outputs will be traceable and reliable. Secondly, we will carry out the fifth census. As we know, economic census is like a physical examination for a nation. This is the first time we carry out the economic census ever since the wrap-up of the 20th National Congress. In the census this year, we will also have some simultaneous investment and outputs investigation. We hope to have a clear idea about the aggregate and the distribution. We must also clarify the structure and relationships among all the factors. This is quite a heavy task for all of us. Now, the registered market players stand at the number of 170 million. So we must do the census as to those market players in different industries. According to the arrangement of the CPC Central Committee and the State Council, we will complete this job industriously. And here, I sincerely call upon our media groups to continue to publicize and report about those work this year. And we welcome all the media friends to pay more attention to all the statistics we provided and play a good supervision role. We hope that with the public supervision, we can continue to improve the quality of data. Thank you, Minister Kang.